guys, what's going on? It's MassiveJoes Raw Review, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome Raw review for the viewers at home today on one of the most anticipated pre-workout reformulations we have seen thus far from our good friends at Core Nutritionals. It is, of course, Core Fury Oz Edition in the house. Let's get straight into it. Show you guys exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's going to do. This formula is absolutely stacked, viewers, and that nutritional information panel ain't gonna get it done. We're about to go balls deep in this here Core Nutritionals Fury Oz Edition. Luckily, we've got a big-ass nutritional information panel appearing on screen at the moment so you guys can play along. Starting from the top, serving size, 2 scoops, 21.2 grams. There are 40 total scoops in each tub of Core Fury, and it is 2 scoops per serve, per full serve to get us to 21.2 grams. In each 21.2 gram, 2 scoop full serve, there are 16.214 grams of actives spread over 11 active ingredients, which means we're dealing with 76% actives, 24% non-actives, which are your flavors, your sweeteners, and your stabilizers, as with all of Core's supplements. No artificial colors or dyes used in this Fury pre-workout. In terms of what the 16.214 grams of actives, in terms of what those 11 active ingredients are, viewers at home, link is in the description box to Supplement Simplified articles for all of these active ingredients if you want to go take a deep dive. What we're going to do, as is tradition with pre-workouts, we're going to look at the 5 main effects that we look for in complete stimulant-based pre-workouts. We're going to see how this formula stacks up. The 5 effects are muscle pumps, improved blood flow, vasodilation. Number 2, muscle power. Number 3, muscular endurance. Number 4, mental focus and elevation in mood or feeling of well-being. And number 5, of course, has got to be energy. Let's start with effect number 1, muscle pumps and improved blood flow. We have a massive dose of L-citrulline, 50% above clinical dose, 6,000 milligrams. We've got a clinical dose of Vasodrive AP and a double clinical dose of S7. So some nice synergism in here to promote muscle pumps through the arginine pathway, to promote direct vasodilation and direct production of nitric oxide as well for improved blood flow. We get a massive tick next to muscle pumps and improved blood flow. In effect number 2, muscle power, we have a very solid dose of betaine anhydrous in here, 2,500 milligrams, which in itself is a precursor to creatine. And then we also have a massive dose of creatine magna power, 1.5 grams in each 2 scoop serving here. Once again, some nice synergism between those 2 ingredients to promote muscle power. We get a massive tick there. Effect number 3, muscular endurance. We have a full clinical dose of beta-alanine, 3.2 grams, to prevent the buildup of fatigue toxins and help buffer those fatigue toxins and, of course, help with muscular endurance. So we get a tick there. Effect number 4, mental focus and elevation in mood, feeling of well-being. We have a whopping dose of L-tyrosine in there as a precursor to L-dopa, which in itself is a precursor to dopamine. We have a very nice dose of acetylcholine, 250 milligrams, and synergistically, we have a whopping dose of huperzine A to stop the breakdown of excess acetylcholine caused by the acetylcholine, which is a precursor to acetylcholine. So we've got some nice synergism in there, particularly in the mental focus side of things, but we are going to get focus and elevation in mood. We get a tick there. And then, of course, effect number 5, energy. We have 250 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous. That's going to hit you straight away. And then we have 140 milligrams of the Zoom XR registered trademarked version of sustained release caffeine, yielding 100 milligrams of sustained release caffeine. So 350 milligrams of caffeine in total, of which 250 hits straight away, and that extra 100 from the Zoom XR kind of tapers off as we get through our workout. So we're going to get some nice, smooth, long-lasting energy in the 2 scoop serve of this Core Fury Oz. So we get a tick there. Guys, we are hitting very convincingly all 5 effects that we look for in complete stimulant-based pre-workouts with this Core Fury Oz Edition. But as always, we like to play devil's advocate. What is this formula missing? From a pump's perspective, it's missing nitrates for sure to boost nitric oxide through the nitric oxide pathway. It's also missing something to prolong the muscle pump, some agmatine or some norvaline in there. We can tell from this formula the pumps are going to be intense. But of course, our body tries to get back to homeostasis, so it breaks down that excess nitric oxide. There's nothing in this formula to prevent that. Also, some glycerol in there for hyperhydration of muscle cells, which is kind of, you get the side effect of feeling like you've got a better pump. It's also going to help with muscular endurance in there. From a muscle power perspective, some Elevate ATP or some Peak ATP would be a nice addition to the creatine and betaine synergism we have in here. From a muscular endurance perspective, some PiCO2 would definitely bounce off the beta-alanine. Even some taurine would bounce off the beta-alanine to enhance the muscular endurance effect. And then finally, from an elevation in mood perspective, we have a big dose of tyrosine. It'd be nice to see some N-acetyl-L-tyrosine in there or some mucuna pruriens. They're all going to do much of the same thing though, so it might be a little bit of overkill. That being said, man, on paper, one of the best formulas for a pre-workout supplement ever put together, in my personal opinion. The fact that we hit all 5 effects, we put a massive tick next to all 5 effects. There's nice synergism happening all over the place to support those 5 effects. I mean, it is just one of the best pre-workout formulas we have seen thus far. On paper. We'll get to the effects in a second. Infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test about to go down, viewers. But before we get there, let me tell you about the 3 flavors that the Core Fury Oz Edition comes in. It comes in green apple candy. It comes in lemon lime sherbet. It comes in our exclusive flavor, Redskins-inspired Australian raspberry chews. Guys, I have the infamous double wall glass ready to go, and I have in this glass 8 ounces of water because we're going to follow these directions down to a point. It says right here on the label, mix 2 scoops with 16 ounces of water. We're going to do 1 scoop in 8 ounces of water and consume 15 to 30 minutes before we train. I'm not going to go train right now, but I do have a little surprise for you guys in a second. This is my personal tub right here, viewers at home, the Australian Raspberry Chews. So I'm going to take 1 scoop here. I will point out, as I am scooping, that a perfectly level scoop of this Core Fury that looks like that is actually under by about 15%. So in a 2 scoop serving, we're looking at 21.2 grams. So a single scoop should weigh 10.6. A perfectly level scoop weighs about 9. So to get the 10.6 grams, we're gonna have to go, I'm not gonna say a heap scoop, I'm gonna say like a rounded scoop. So that's what we're trying to get to get the 10.6 grams. I'm gonna take this rounded 10.6 gram scoop, I'm gonna drop it in this double wall glass with 8 ounces of water, and I'm gonna let it rain, let it rain. Got myself a spoon, a few flicks of the wrist. I'm gonna show you guys how it mixes. Let me swap hands, I'm right-handed. Refresh my memory on how this Australian Raspberry Chews Core Fury Oz Edition tastes, man. All right, that's enough. As you guys can see, 1 scoop in a glass in 8 ounces of water mixes as close to perfectly as you are going to get. There are no floaters. There are no sinkers. I'm going to go so far as to say turbo ball is not required for this Core Fury Oz Edition. Let me refresh my memory on how the Raspberry Chews taste, man. Guys, not only is this on paper one of the best pre-workout formulas we have seen thus far, the flavors across the board it's one of the best tasting pre-workouts ever created. I shit you not. It is fucking delicious across all 3 flavors. The Australian Raspberry Chews, our exclusive Australian flavor, inspired by Redskins, is bang on liquid Redskins. There's no other way to put it. It is bang on liquid Redskins. The green apple candy is like a toffee apple just deliciousness. The lemon lime sherbet, you guys know, I don't fuck with citrus. I don't like lemons. I don't like limes. I don't like orange. I don't like mandarin. The lemon lime sherbet is delicious. And for me to say that is a big fucking deal. It's like a sweet kind of citrus flavor. I mean, Core have done such an exceptional job with the flavor of this pre-workout, which is particularly, those of you who have been fans of Core for a few years would remember Fury X, which was arguably one of the worst tasting pre-workouts ever created. And when Core let us know that they were working on a new Fury, an Oz edition, one of the non-negotiables that we had for them was it needs to taste fucking amazing. And Core have come through with the goods. Those three flavors across the board are absolutely to die for. One of the best tasting pre-workouts ever created, hands down. If I had to rank the three flavors, and I will, Australian Raspberry Chews #1, Green Apple Candy for me #2, and Lemon Lime, as good as it is, it's still citrus at the end of the day, and you guys know that that's a tough pill for me to swallow. In terms of the effects, I'm gonna do something a little bit different here, guys. We're gonna take this Core Fury to the gym, we're gonna train on it, and I'm gonna tell you guys what's up. Let's go. Guys, tub of Core Fury here in the Australian Raspberry Chews flavor. Now we've been through the formula, so you guys know what I'm expecting to get out of this pre-workout in this workout. Muscle pumps, muscle power, muscular endurance, nice smooth energy, mental focus and elevation in feeling of well-being. I'm gonna train on 2 scoops today. So we're taking it right to the 2 scoop dosage. We're gonna hit some shoulders. I'm excited, let's go. Oh man, what an amazing workout. 2 scoops of Core Fury. Fuck, where do I start? The muscle pumps are ridiculous. Like, it's almost like there's a specific pump supplement inside the Core Fury. It's like I've stacked it with a pump supplement. Absolutely unreal. Muscle endurance, really good. A little difficult, honestly, to tell with the shoulder workout because the workout is shorter. You know, shoulders are not a huge muscle group, but can definitely feel when I get to those last few reps on each set, there's that push there to get that extra rep. So muscle endurance, really good. Muscle power was awesome as well. Once again, the workout today, there wasn't a lot of big, heavy movements. My shoulder workouts are not big, heavy movements. So muscle power was there, but I think for legs, for back, for chest, for those big, heavy kind of workouts, that's really where the muscle power is going to come through. The energy is amazing. Really well balanced, nice and smooth, yet intense at the same time. It's a really nice balance of energy that comes on quite quickly, definitely elevates you, but it's not abrupt. It's not that kind of, you know, on the edge, feeling a little bit anxious energy. It's nice and smooth. It lasts for the entire workout as well. And I think, honestly, guys, one of the most enjoyable parts of training on this Core Fury is the balance of energy, mental focus, and feeling of well-being. The smoothness of the energy, the tunnel vision aspect of the mental focus, and then just the feeling of like, you just feel fucking great. You just feel great training on the Core Fury. So, I mean, from an effects perspective, from a real world effects perspective, the formula on paper definitely stacks up in the real world. I'm super, super pumped about this pre-workout. I can't wait to train back on it, legs on it, chest on it, arms on it, everything. This is going straight into my pre-workout stack from now on. Just an amazing pre-workout to train on, guys. In terms of the side effects, I will say the total caffeine, remember, is 350 milligrams. So 250 is immediately acting, 100 is sustained release. That being said, it is still a lot of caffeine. Whether it's sustained or not sustained, it is a lot of caffeine to have at one period of time. So I do recommend that you start with the 1 scoop serve, which is going to take the total caffeine down to 175, and then find your sweet spot from there. It might be 1.5 scoops. You might go straight to the 2 scoops and think it's fucking amazing. Or even at 1 scoop, you might go, you know what? This is exactly what I'm after in terms of stimulant effect, in terms of energy effect. So start with a 1 scoop, work your way from there, find your sweet spot. In terms of stackability, so I just showed you guys my experience training on 2 scoops. I have, of course, trained on 1 scoop. I've trained on 1 scoop stacked with stim-free pre-workouts. In particular, this Fury Oz specifically stacks very, very well with Core Pump. So 1 scoop of each. You could even do 2 scoops of each if you wanted to blow your fucking head off. But 1 scoop of each I've used a bunch of times. It's one of my favorite pre-workout stacks of all time. It is going to stack best with stim-free pre-workouts, right? You do not want to be stacking this Fury Oz edition with other stimulant-based formulas. There's just no need to do so whatsoever. You can stack the 2 scoops of the Fury Oz with a stim-free pre-workout or a stim-free pump if you want to. And of course, then you can take it down to 1 scoop and stack it with 1 or 2 scoops of a stim-free pre-workout or a stim-free pump. In terms of what it compares to, because I know you guys are keen to see how this stacks up against other complete tick all 5 boxes stimulant-based pre-workouts. On one hand, we're going to stack it up against Arms Race Harness. On the other hand, we're going to go head-to-head with Man Sports Game Day Fully Loaded. Let's start with Harness. The pumps in Harness compared to the Fury Oz edition are not quite as good. Very close, but not quite. The power is also very close, but not quite as good. Fury Oz takes the cake in both of those departments, in my personal opinion. The endurance is very similar. The mental focus and feeling of well-being across both products is also very similar. The energy is significantly different. Harness is going to hit you a lot harder. It's a lot stronger, but it's not as well balanced in terms of how long the energy lasts and in terms of the balance of the energy to the mental focus and feeling of well-being. Harness is definitely skewed towards a lot of stimulant-based energy, whereas Fury is skewed towards a more holistic energy and nootropic type experience. Many more flavors to choose from with Harness. You've got 9 in the mix at the moment compared to the 3 in the Fury Oz. We tend to see that with new pre-workouts. They start with 3 or 4 and then build up from there, as did Harness. Harness is $5 less per tub, so a little bit better value for money than the Fury Oz for the same number of serves. Let's flip the script. Let's take a look at Man Sports Game Day. The Game Day pumps are not as good. The power is not as good. The endurance is very similar. The mental focus and feeling of well-being is close but not as good as Fury Oz. The energy is very similar. Game Day uses 350 milligrams of natural caffeine. Fury Oz uses 350 milligrams split between caffeine anhydrous and sustained release. I think the experience and the balance, once again, of energy to nootropic feel in Fury Oz is better than Game Day. But Game Day does have that unique, massive dose of natural caffeine that some people really like. 1 less flavor to choose from in Game Day Fully Loaded, only 2 compared to the 3 in the Fury Oz, but it is much better value for money. $10 less per tub for 10 more serves. So it's actually 40% cheaper than the Fury Oz. Who is the Fury Oz best for? Guys, honestly, everyone, like legitimately everyone. And the reason why I say that is because even in the 1 scoop dose for like a newbie to a pre-workout, a beginner, someone who's just using pre-workouts for the first time, in a 1 scoop dose is a fucking amazing pre-workout. And because so many of these ingredients are overdosed in the 2 scoop serve, when you bump it back to 1 scoop, you're still getting very close to, if not clinical doses of all of these active ingredients. It's ridiculous. I'm going to say anyone who wants a tick all boxes incredible pre-workout, the Fury Oz is for you guys. If you're a beginner, start with the 1 scoop. Experienced users, obviously you go 1 to 2 scoops and then you can use it to stack in a 1 scoop or a 2 scoop dose, depending on what effects you're trying to enhance in your pre-workout experience. Last but not least, viewers, price and value for money. The Fury Oz edition in the Australian marketplace retails for $89.95 for the 40 scoops, 20 serves, which breaks out at $2.25 per scoop. And if you're going to do the full 2-scoop serve, it's $4.50 per 2-scoop serve. There's no way to get around this. It is a top shelf price for a top shelf pre-workout. That's really the only way to put it. It's expensive. It's probably the most expensive pre-workout in the Australian marketplace at this point in time, but it's the best formulated pre-workout we've ever seen, guys, and it tastes fucking amazing, and you can train in the 2 scoops or the 1 scoop. I mean, like, hands down, it's my favorite pre-workout. I can't explain it any other way. I fucking love this pre-workout. You guys are gonna love it as well. If you're in the market for a pre-workout, I highly encourage you guys to go and get your hands on the Core Nutritionals Fury Oz edition. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel, guys. Don't forget to turn your post notifications on your mobile, your cell phone, your desktop PC, your smart TV, and any other device you are watching this video on, so you don't miss a beat when it comes to all these new raw reviews and everything else we've got happening here on the channel. Guys, that is MassiveJoes' raw review on the all-new Core Nutritionals Fury Oz edition in the house. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com.